Now we're doing a modified butterfly position. Jessica's first is going to test her adductor mobility. So put your hands right around your feet and invert them. Right. Now try moving the hips into abduction, adduction. Let me know what you feel. You should always screen yourself before you do these mobility exercises to see how you responded. Now we're going to stretch them. Okay, these are knee fallouts. You're going to lock your right leg on the ground, getting rid of the space underneath your knee. So you're locking your right side down by getting rid of that space under the knee. You're pushing your heel out to cause some distraction in the hip. Now, see where your hip is, your hand is on the right-hand side. The right-hand side, keep that hip down on the ground. So contract that. That's not going to move. There's going to be a glass of wine there. Don't spill it. Now have your hand go out to the side, your right hand out to the side. Bring it down a little bit so I know you're going to hit the wall. Right. Now bring your left knee up in the air. Okay, all the way up. The goal here is to keep your right side grounded, your right scapula, shoulder blade, your right arm, your right hip, and your right leg. Now breathe, and as you breathe in, let the knee fall out. When you breathe in, bring it back. For the first few, put your hand on your right hip to make sure that it's not moving. Because what you're going to do, and come back up, and move with your breath. You're working the outside of your left abductors. You're working the outside of your right abductors and glutes. So they're working to keep you stable. Mostly you're working on the pelvic muscles right under your hand and the glutes on the outside of your hand. Do you feel that? All right, put that hand out to the side again, the right hand, the crucifix, and let's do some knee fallouts. Level 1, knee fallouts. Okay, this is the next step after knee fallout. Push the toe into the strap, exactly. Again, that right side, I want you to ground it with your arm, the leg. Get the space out from underneath that knee. Push the heel out to cause some traction on that right hip. And now what you're gonna do is let that leg fall out to the side, and you're gonna bring other way, and you're gonna bring it right around to your ear. Now again, watch that right-hand side. I want you to keep the right-hand side of your leg, your hips, and your scapula grounded while you let that other leg come around. So you're opening up or mobilizing the adductor muscles. A lot more aggressive than the knee fallouts because now you have a longer lever. So we're placing one yoga block between the feet, gentle squeeze. That's more for input to the feet, and there's a yoga block under the butt to give some support to make the move a little bit easier. Now, Jessica, keep the chest broad, open up the shoulders, wrap your hands around the feet without folding into it, and help the feet roll up into inversion. Gentle squeeze in the yoga block. Now we're going to stretch the right-hand side, so I want your left elbow to go into your knee a little bit, and lean a little bit to your left. And now with your right hip, do a couple pumps with your breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Try not to turn your body. Try to be in a total, yes. You don't want to lose that good spinal posture. You still turn a little bit, so I want you to use your hands versus your elbow, yes. My arms are very long, so I can basically touch way over here, South Carolina. And now let's switch to the other side. So put some gentle pressure. You don't have to turn. You can put your hand on the thigh or the knee to keep that from coming up. It's gentle pressure. Lean to your right side. So lean this way, Jessica. Lean to your right. Put some pressure on your right. And then do some pumps with your left. What's really nice about this movement is you're going to realize sooner than later that you may have an asymmetry. One may move better than the other. And now you can take the blocks away, Jessica, from underneath the hips. And then try it again, see if you've gained any more motion. How's that feel? So, Jessica, we're going to do a more aggressive mobility movement for your adductors. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep the feet parallel. I don't tell everyone to keep the feet parallel. Some people are not built that way, so I do allow some external rotation. And you go out as far as you can before you lose stability. You're going to take this yoga block and place it right in front of you. Now, start to lean forward, but keep the chest broad. Yep. And now start to lean towards the floor. You can let the arms go. And now the head is going to go right to the yoga block. The hands are on the side. And the hands go flat on the ground. And what you're going to do, once you feel comfortable there, straighten the knees. You should still be on the outside of your feet. You can rock forward, then rock backwards to put pressure on the hands, off the hands. And right now I'm going to point out a little correction. I know Jessica can't see it or feel it. She's slightly bent to her left-hand side. She has a little trunk bend right there. So someone would have to watch, or she would have to tape herself to make sure she's not going into an asymmetrical position. So to recap, we have knee drops, we have extended leg openers, we have seated butterfly, and standing V's, all for adductor mobility. All right, we're gonna do some loaded adductor mobility work. So we're doing some sliders, bilateral hip sliders. And Jessica, I'm also gonna have you turn to the side because I want people to see your ankles. Make sure the knees and ankles are moving together. I don't want the ankles to stay glued together and the knees move. Yes, that's it. Quadruped adductor sliders. Now we're going into high kneeling sliders. Again, hold your posture. Make sure you get your A, your B, your C, your alignment, your breath work, and then go into the controlled movement. One stays and the other one goes. See how that one slid out? That's okay. That's a little bit of that lack of control. It takes a while. These are very difficult. And you don't want to lose your alignment here. Again, keep your alignment, keep your breath work, and then control the movement. See that once you came back, it's harder for it to come back. That ankle still lingers out there. You want the ankle and knee coming back together so there's no excessive rotation in the hip. So now we're doing high kneeling adductor sliders. You want to maintain alignment, maintain breath work, and make sure when you're coming back, you don't pop back and the ankle and the knee come back together. And now we're going to the next level of loading the adductors to get some more mobility. And these are called sliders. So one leg stays stable. Again, keep your trunk tall, chest broad, and you slide one out. And what you're going to try to do, Jessica, is try not to go into excessive external rotation. You don't have to remain totally parallel, but don't turn anymore after you start. So if you start here in 10 degrees of external rotation, stay there in 10 degrees. Don't excessively externally rotate. That one stays steady. Yes, you can let this knee bend, but the knee can't follow. The standing knee can only bend forward. It's not going to follow along and go into an adducted or valgus position. Very nice.